Good evening, everyone, and thank you for coming to Deb Chanel's 48 World, where we do reviews on soap operas. Today, I'm going to be going over the soap opera that aired on yesterday, July 18th at 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, my time zone, The Young and the Restless. Okay, let's get right on into it. We have Adam as giving a summary. Adam's life changes forever. Chloe plots her next move. Dylan encouraged Victor to make a confession. Okay, first scene we go into, Adam and Chloe are laying in bed. Chloe's not wanting to get out of the bed, because she feels that if she do get out the bed, their future will change for the worse. She's trying to keep the future of the current events from happening, and she thinks if they isolate themselves, that this nightmare of a dream she thinks she's in is going to go away. No, ma'am, Chloe. Life goes on. It doesn't matter what situations we're going through, whether we want to go through them or not, be it good or bad. Most time we're feeling this way is when things are pretty much south of the border, or they don't went bad and we don't want to face it. But as responsible adults, when we do something, we have to own up to doing it. But in Adam's case, he's just a victim of all circumstances, and he has a ruthless ass father, and it didn't go as planned as Victor. He put too much faith in crazy ass Chloe, and that's where we are now. So it's gonna take hell and high water to freeze over, meaning Chloe to come to some type of understanding that what she's doing is wrong. Alan's not a killer. He never killed anybody intentionally. You know what I'm saying? The whole thing with Delia dying and, being, everybody had a part to play in that. Delia's too much of a bright, vibrant child. She wasn't really paying attention to her surroundings. And technically, Delia shouldn't have not gotten out the car, period. Okay? And point blank. But it was one of those things that happened, a tragic misfortune type of situation, because Billy could still be looked at as the irresponsible parent for going into the store and Delia getting out because her dog got out. I mean, come on, you know what I'm saying? Everybody can be put to blame, but Adam was scared. He was trying to keep his own life together, and there's no excuse. He should have came forward, and then he probably didn't have to go to jail. But just a lot transpired, and we can see why Chloe acted the way she acted and feel the way she feel. But anyway, two wrongs don't make a right, Chloe. And then had another beautiful daughter named Bella that I'm still trying to catch up with. Who got you pregnant on that aspect? Who is the child's father? And this, that, and the other. Because how you're going with your little antics and your behavior, you're going to be landed right back in the psych ward, and you're not going to have anything to do with your final and last daughter in this world. Okay. Anyway, Adam finally gets Chelsea to get up. They get dressed half-heartedly. We leave that situation. We go to Nikki. Nikki is at the hospital talking to Victor. And her saying she's not wanting him to go back to jail. Well, go figure, Nikki. Your testimony, along with everybody else's in the family and Phyllis, put Victor's ass there. We already knew Victor was shady, and he does everything to protect himself first and foremost. Okay, then he protects his family and all of that. But it comes first, Victor and his empire, then family secondary. But he goes and get anybody straight that messes with his own, because only he is deemed worthy to mess with any of his family members and no one else. Okay, unless he gets permission. But he only let it go so far. So he's, in a hospital bed acting like, his shit don't stink. He ain't did nothing. His hands are free. When we know, Victor, you need to serve 10 more years, along with the 10 that you still need to serve because your actions hadn't changed. And to have poor Adam got to go to jail over some fictitious mess that you done set up, that shows a lot about your character. And even though Nikki don't want to see the forest for the trees, she getting the same old crazy ass man back that she tried to get so much far away from. But that's her drug. She's addicted, and she's gonna die with that whole frame of mind of always being there for Victor, whether he's wrong or right type mentality. He keeps pulling her back in, and she's gonna drown miserably with him. Um, Anyway, she's just trying to keep his head up high that, he got to go back to jail. Yeah, yeah. But with the plea coming up and, everything of the comings and goings that went on him playing a heroic knight in shining armor, coming to rescue her, as well as Phyllis from, Ian's bad behavior and mannerisms, trying to keep them hostage and whatnot. He did break out of jail, not out of jail, but out of the hospital setting where he was to go and find and bring Nikki back safely and sound, even though he got shot in the process. But that was at the courtroom. Could have got shot again, but Victor's Victor, okay? So she's thinking that plea, along with her taking or recanting her story and her family doing the same thing. And it's only happened for rich folks because I never seen anybody else of normal value in the world, meaning hard class working folks that's living paycheck to paycheck, more than likely getting a break like the rich and affluent get when they have all these different infractions negatively brought to them. So it's a hot mess how this society goes on, the who's who and the who's not, in a sense. We leave that situation, go to Dylan. Dylan is getting ready to go to court to see Adam take his fate. Sharon is giving him love kisses and all this, asking him why he didn't wake her up. But I'm like, you seem to be in full-fledged gear. You could go in that outfit to court if you wanted to. They escort him to be there for him or whatnot. Or you could stay home and be the dutiful housewife, which that's all you've ever been, Sharon. You still reminded me of Nikki. Whew. Anyway, we leave that situation because we know Sharon ain't nothing but a liar. She's trying to hold up her end of all the stuff that she's hiding from Dylan. But it's going to come to light. It sure is. It's going to come to light, baby girl, because you're not the mother of that child. Okay, yes, he would have been a motherless child and is glad that you're there, but he has Nicholas. Nicholas can so often, get involved with another woman. But anyway, so much love. I mean, I guess Sully is good or Christian is good with you for now, but you're not his mother. And if Dylan leaves your ass, I guess that'll be a safe haven for Nicholas to come back. But again, that's not Nicholas' baby, who you're trying to be in fear of him knowing anything about it, as well as Dylan. It's Adam. He's up in jail. So, yeah, Adam got another thing to answer to. But it is what it is. Chelsea knows about it, and it is what it is. Okay, moving on. um Dylan is also feeling sorry that he know what the thing is going to turn out to be. He's going to take the plea. The judge is going to give him more than likely 30 years, which he did receive 30-year sentence. um and he knows that's not fair because Adam doesn't deserve to be behind bars. He know Victor should, and whoever's conspiring with Victor with all this fictitious mess going on. So we leave that situation. We go to Paul and Christine. They're at the courthouse awaiting the judge to come and for them to bring in Adam so that they can get this stuff under wraps. They don't need a jury. They don't need any witnesses in the, what do you call it, the audience. They just need the judge to pass sentence on Adam, and then he goes to jail and serves his time. Okay. But of course, even Paul is telling his wife Christine, who's the prosecutor for the state, that this is so bogus. We're sending an innocent man to prison on a select charge that we have him on, and that's a shame. But like, what can they do? They're two officers of the law. They have to, proceed accordingly. So Michael comes in. Um, but no, not at that particular time. So we leave that situation. We go to Michael. Mike and Kevin are still looking at the video footage at Crimson Lights. Michael's still telling Kevin, to continue to work on it. And with Natalie's help, hopefully they'll find out something. He really appreciates what they're doing, even though they have to go face the music and he has to go and get sentenced. And hopefully something will transpire for the upswing of things and he can be totally exonerated from these charges and then brought back home so he can continue to live his life. And then they can look for the real culprit, then put them behind bars for, creating such a big scandal that's going on now with this whole thing of Constance Bingham being killed instead of her dying of natural causes, which we already know she did die of natural causes. Just Victor did this elaborate, hoax of a situation that happened that didn't really happen. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, um, he's telling Kevin to continue to work dutifully. He'll definitely appreciate it. And he knows that Adam and Chelsea, will give him the resounding effect as well. They appreciate what he's doing as well because, yes, it is a travesty that he has to go do something and take sentence for something, even if it's a couple of days for something he didn't do. There's some part of his life he's not going to get back. and the ramifications that he's doing mentally to himself about being there. He's not going to be able to forget that. Maybe with time, if he get out quick enough, but it is what it is on the soap opera land. But we leave that situation. We go to Chloe. Chloe's just at her motel, honey. She's looking briefly at the news. They're talking about Adam being sentenced for Constance Bingham's death that's happening today at the courthouse. Of course, you're going to have all paparazzi as well as all news media right there waiting for, Adam to come out after being sentenced to whatever, how many years he's going to get. Um, and then you have Chloe, the judge passes well, I'm going too fast, but she's at the hotel, listening to the news broadcast and stuff. Then she goes on and be playing with the papers that, Victor had gave her to give to, as an anonymous person, to give to Dylan so he can set Adam free and things can go, how they had planned for them to transpire out. But of course, Victor didn't keep up his deal. She didn't keep up hers. She got them papers and she ready to set fire to them and it'd be no more evidence because she sure ain't giving up the goat of the whole story. And we know Victor's not either because he pretty much will go to jail at its sentence time. He will die in jail because of his age and, the fact of him already having 10 years. They tack more on now. Yeah, he's a dead goner. Dead ringer for standing out all day, every day. Okay. Anyway, we sit and move from that situation because Chloe basically trying to figure out she don't want to mess with the papers right now. It's gonna be another day, but soon she goes in talking to Delia, her dead daughter's picture, and she's wanting retribution from today's occurrences with Adam being sentenced. He's going into being in the jailhouse and this, that, and the other. So she's trying to pick out what kind of wig she wants to put herself in today. But if we leave that situation, we go to commercial. We have Dylan and Sharon are kissing still again, and making sexual acts toward each other. And Sharon pretty much trying to get some more loving, morning loving before he go. He almost wants to give in to her, but Mariah pops in, and then they have to hold up everything. And he has to digress and get his ass on out the door, but he should have been in the first place. Then we go back to then Sharon and Mariah starts making small talk, and pretty much Sharon wants her to go on with her life and leave, from being at the house so much. So, Sharon can pretty much, be on her own because she says she's taking her medication. She feels better. She seems to be taking her medication. She's not like bouncing off the wall like we saw her in pretty previous episodes with being back on the medication. Anyway, Mariah's feeling some kind of way about it because she's saying, okay, you want me to leave, so I won't be a constant reminder of having that secret that I have on you, but I'm never going to use it against you because you're my family, you're my mother, da 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 da, whatever. And Sharon's like, no, but I'm well. Sharon just don't want nobody on her ass and always saying, are you okay? Are you okay? How are you feeling? Are you seeing? She just don't want that. And Mariah's feeling some kind of way because she feel like Sharon is like blocking her out and don't want her to be a part of the family because she's that reminder that there's a secret out there for baby Sully. But no, honey, you shouldn't be worried about Mariah. You should be worried about baby Sully Christian because he's going to always be that factor that makes you look in the mirror at yourself to say, dog, I'm holding this secret. No, that's the one you need to, let go of, at least tell the truth about him. Then you won't have these unresolved issues, boo boo. But anyway, we leave from that situation. We go to Chloe. Chloe is thinking about burning the papers again, but she wants to go see the updated version of how Adam is going to, receive his sentence and how he's going to be feeling and looking. So she's already planning her day as to being at the courthouse and seeing him being transported to jail. And she's taking very, very much liking to that scenario. We leave that situation. We go to Nick, and Nick is trying to figure out why Victor is not happy about the possibilities of getting out of jail. Victor is really worried about Chloe's current negative state of mind and her actions. That's what he needs to be telling Nick. But of course, she's always kept in the dark, and she finds out everything at the last minute. We leave that situation. We go to Adam. Adam is holding Connor and talking to him about life in general. Like Adam, come on, he's too young for that. He gonna say yes to anything. And then shortly after you leave, Chloe comes back and try to resume back into her daily activities with being a mom, um, he's gonna ask where you at. You know, babies don't have that type of. I think it was more so for you to talk it through than for baby Connor to sit up there and you really expect him to be understanding everything that you're telling him. I mean, come on. But whatever gets you through that moment, fine, because it was a touching, grueling type moment that nobody should has to go through. Far as you know, if the person really didn't commit the crime, they really shouldn't have to go to jail, but it is what it is. You're guilty until proven innocent in a sense, but in this particular situation, you were set up, and everything is appears to be what it is, but it's really not. So you just gonna have you have a good wife in Chelsea because she's gonna get to the bottom of the truth no matter what she has to do. She's gonna probably even find herself, you know, looking at charges, and then both of y'all be in jail, and then poor Connor growing up as an orphan. You know what I'm saying? But not an orphan. He's gonna be assimilated back into Victor's clan, and he's gonna have more and more control while y'all rotting away in jail. Okay, but anyway, we leave that situation because not Chloe, Chelsea comes up and kind of listens in to what he's telling baby Connor, and she gets all emotional and this, that, and the other. You know, it is what it is. Then they both hear a knock at the door, and of course, this knock is Michael. He's coming to escort Adam to jail, so they can not to jail, but to court, so they can go on and take that plea deal. We know it's going to be 30 years, or we didn't know at the time. We got 30 years for second degree assault. I tell you, that's a hard pill to swallow when you know you didn't do that particular act and everything's pointed against you, and you just have to have faith that it's going to come out and turn out in your favor sooner or later. But you have to go through those murky waters until things are resolved. So he's pretty much, like I said, there to accompany him to the courthouse along with the officer as well. So he pretty much half reluctantly goes on. You know, he tells Chelsea to take Connor on upstairs because he don't want the last vision of him seeing him walk out the door. He never see him walk back in. So we kind of understood that. It's very emotional again. She takes the baby from him and goes upstairs after saying, you know, getting another hug from him and a kiss. But you know, she gonna see him again at the courthouse, so it is what it is. From that situation. Then we go to commercial. We come back. We have Adam in the courtroom, waiting to, you know, for his sentencing. And then you already got Paul and Christine there. Christine is telling Michael, you know, that was a good decision, what you made. He said, yeah, if it was that person actually did it. But in my case, it's bad. It's a travesty because I know Adam didn't commit this crime. And so, they have their own little minced words about it, but it is what it is. And then Adam is going over with Michael. Does he really have to say he's guilty, even though he's innocent? And Michael goes over the what do you call it? The format of how things are transpired when you do put in a guilty plea, even though you didn't do it, but you're getting this done to you by taking a plea, so you can get off a lesser sentence. It's rather be 30 days than life. And hell, when Adam gets out, he pretty much gonna be a senior citizen or close to it. But it is what it is. So he's kind of having a bad time accepting, pleading something that's not correctly true. And when he gets up there, he pleads guilty, but he said he didn't do it. And the judge said, that's will be put in the transcript that you did make note of that you're admitting to a crime to get a lesser sentence, but you're saying that you didn't do the offense as well. But the evidence is so preponderance against you, we have no other recourse. So that's blind justice being served. But anyway, it is what it is. We go to Chelsea. Chelsea sees Dylan coming in the courtroom. She's pleading with him to get back out this courtroom and go talk to Victor at the hospital and see what happened, because she don't really believe Victor would have told them all of that and it didn't go exactly how he had planned to go, so something must have happened. She convinces Dylan. Dylan leaves and goes and talks to Victor at the hospital. But we leave that situation. We go back to Sharon. Sharon is telling Mariah, she don't need to go. She didn't want that to happen unless she really wants to go. But for her being there for her, that don't need to take place anymore. She be there because she want to be there, but she don't need her there to be her guardian angel or her support group. She don't need it anymore. So Mariah just takes it some kind of way that, her mom, Sharon, don't want her there. She wants her life where it is and this, that, and that. She brings up the The scenario again that she's just a constant reminder of Sage's secret and this, that, and the other. But no, honey, Mariah, ain't you. You need to look a little further. That's baby Sully slash Christian is going to give her that feeling of uneasiness. And she likes to talk to baby Sully so much. Dylan's going to run up and hear it anyway through no admission of you or anybody else, even Faith, going down there eavesdropping here and there. He's going to get it straight from the horse's mouth. But Sharon's not going to know that he was there listening all along. So, yeah, she's going to pretty much lose Dylan because he can't trust her. I mean, that secret's just too big. You didn't know at first about the whole situation, but when you knew, you should have just went on and told Dylan. Yes, he would have been mad about not having a baby and the baby not being his, but if he would have investigated a little bit more, the baby ain't Nicholas either. But, Adam all over again, I tell you. But we leave that situation. We go to where Mariah calls Kevin because she's pretty much feeling like she don't have nowhere to go, and she kind of want to get that spark back with her and Kevin again and try to X out Natalie. So she calls Kevin to see if she can have her own room back. He says yes. He must have tells her to come to Crimson Lights to get the keys, and because that's where she ends up going. So she got a good thing right now with Kevin, but it was more solid prior to her getting to Crimson Lights that she think they could repair their relationship and be a couple again because she gets another set of information when she gets there to get the keys. Um, But then we have Dylan. He goes to see Victor. Just like he was trying to tell Chelsea he'll go and try this last time to find Victor with a conscience and hopefully to confess of what he had did for setting Adam up and how far that setup went. But he gets to the hospital with his mother being there, Nikki at his bedside. He goes in to implore that Victor tell the truth. This man is going to jail for a crime you and him both know that he didn't commit. And, it's pretty much like, nah, I don't know nothing about it. Victor's playing Stonewall and playing crazy. And then Nick is looking here at him very lovingly too, saying, baby, do you got something to say about it? And of course, he playing poker face like, no, I don't know what they're talking about. Like I told Michael, I don't know what you're talking about. So he's going to hold that, but don't think Dylan ain't going to remember that. And he's going to use that against Victor when it comes to trying to get him out of jail in a situation. How would you let your son go to jail for something you set up and you know he didn't do? He's gonna look at Victor in another light. He's gonna look at Nikki like she crazy, and he's gonna probably throw his hands up and say, "No, I don't. I'm not gonna be a party of this. Whatever y'all do, that's you. Fuck it. Pretty much." Um, like I said, Victor doesn't give his goat up. He ain't finna do nothing. He ain't finna plead. He's pleading the fifth on all counts. So he got some things going on working in that little dome of his, but he's just trying to figure out how far Chloe's gonna take her little antics before he has to change up plans on her behind. But anyway, we leave that situation. We go to commercial. We come back. We have Sharon is trying to minimize what needs to happen with Mariah. Mariah says she's going back to Kevin. She already done spoke with him. She's gonna pick up the keys. It's best for everybody. Sharon is trying not to act concerned, but Mariah knows the truth. And Kara knows too. It just is what it is. Then we go to Dylan and Victor going over the clues of Victor setting, Adam up in front of Nikki. And then Nikki goes to defending Victor like he can't defend himself. Talking about Victor loves his children. Adam and he loves Adam. Ain't no way he gonna set up Adam. So she's trying to chastise her own son Dylan for not knowing Victor's true character when it comes down to his kids. But we already know how that goes. Nick is just stuck on stupid, and we just need to turn her off for a minute or two because she ain't making no sense and she never has. We move on from there to Chelsea. Chelsea receives a message from Dylan, a text message that it was a no go. Victor didn't give up nothing. So you pretty much say goodbye to Adam, and we'll still be working on our end, and Calvin and Natalie will be working on their end. And Adam, he just had to spend some jail time for a minute. So she goes in and pretty much tells her husband Adam what she was trying to do as a last ditch or plea. And it doesn't surprise either him nor Michael that Victor would keep up his lie. Um, But it is gonna come out to be the truth sooner or later, and everybody gonna be looking side eye at Victor once again. But anyway, we leave that situation. The judge finally comes in to pass sentence judgment on Adam. He asks him to raise up. Everybody raise up. He goes into sentencing um, Adam, but he wants to make sure he understands the pleas or the plea bargain he's making, uh, and the offer that was given to the from the prosecution to go to agree to guilt in a lesser charge. And it is what it is. Instead of him spending a lifetime in jail, he'll spend 30 years. So the judge gives Adams a 30-year sentence, and he's escorted out of the courtroom into the courtroom entry level um, area. And then you have all the media crew waiting there and asking him all these questions. And Michael's doing his best to pretty much answer all of them, but be very brief and limited with the answer and response. And then, honey, you have Chloe done stepped out from the woodwork from some, I don't know, space out there. And she's just taking it all in. They're snapping pictures. They have video going on and this, that, and other. And she's just sitting there just smiling and, thinking good of herself of how she got Adam, going to jail on some fictitious type charge. But she wanted him to be in jail for killing her daughter, Delia. And she's sucking on a lollipop and she's just taking it all in. I'm like, girl, you so funny. You just putting your shit all out there for Kevin and Natalie to catch your ass. But anyway, like I said, when people get too cocky, after they done had a reign of terror they've been doing on several people or just maybe one person, the jig is up. You're going to make a slip up. And you're just out there in front of the cameras, videotaping, and, you just don't expose yourself. So Victor ain't going to have to do too much because you're doing it to yourself, boo-boo. But anyway, we go to commercial. We come back. Chloe's still laughing and taking it all in. Believe that situation. Nick is saying goodbye to Victor so he can go and get some rest. But she says she'll be back before they transport him back to the prison and stuff of that nature. She gives him a kiss. He gives her a kiss. They move on. Nikki gets a text message prior to her leaving Victor's hospital room saying that Adam has been sentenced and he took the plea deal. And Victor's trying to look all sad and shit, and he's saying, Nikki, if it was anything I could do, I would have helped, Adam. I'm not that type of a guy. And she's like, oh, baby, I know you ain't. I know you love Adam, this, that, and that. Fuck that. Victor knows too much. He could have said something, but he didn't because it would incriminate him along with his accomplice, Chloe. So it is what it is. Then we leave there. We go to Kevin and Natalie are talking about Mariah coming back to live with him and how it's going to infringe on their together time and her going to be all the way around them all the time. So where's their privacy going to come in? But, Kevin is assuring her that, they're going to have their privacy. They're two intelligent people. They know what to do to have their alone time or whatnot. But, like I said, Natalie is an afterthought. Kevin need to let her loose, cut her loose, and go on and be with Mariah. They make a better fitting couple. But, we're on television land. That's where it is. The writer's going to do what they do. We go from that situation, we go to Dylan. Dylan comes in and gets the shock of his life of being left out of the dark, out of the loop with the whole scenarios of the comings and goings over Adam's case and all the loose ends they've been looking into. So he gets filled in very quickly. And Kevin pretty much admits, yep, we were the culprits of hijacking the prison system videotape footage. He don't want to go too far because, he already knew it all along. He just needed that slight admission. And then Kevin's like, well, who you really have in jail? The person that's really setting Adam up or me, for trying to do a good thing by keeping Adam out of jail. Because you and I both know he didn't commit that crime. So, Dylan didn't agree or disagree, but he knew he was pretty much locked up on that situation. So it is what it is. But then he hires Kevin to go on and try to find as much ammunition or information that's going to set Adam free, because he know in his hearts of hearts now Adam is not a killer. He did not do anything to Constant Bingham, is Victor, and all of his foolishness, having another accomplice to help him, pull off this elaborate type of scheming. So he's really mad now. He wants to get somebody for him looking like a fool and being played to look like a fool. So he enlists Natalie and Kevin's help. He's telling them to look at some footage from, the bus trail or somebody coming in town through that avenue that they haven't really sorted out. Just giving him other new, fresh ideas to try and see what comes up with them. So, we go to commercial, we come back. Kevin and Natalie are talking over whether or not she should come with him. She's saying, "Oh, I'm going with you. You know, I need my alone time with my man and this, that, and the other." And he's kind of thrilled. But he said, "You know how many hours we're gonna have?" She said, "Okay, it'll be a road trip. We'll spend the night down there. We'll get us a hotel, but I'm coming with you." So she must pretty much sold herself on the idea of coming. And Kevin doesn't look like it's a bad idea. He gets to do his work, try to help Adam be free, and then he gets his jollies rocked off. So it's a good thing. So basically, what's her name? Oh, Mariah comes in as they're going over everything, and she tries to get the keys from Kevin. He gives her the keys. He's telling her he's going out of town for a couple of days, and of course, Natalie inserts herself into that conversation, saying she's going with him and this, that, and the other. And Mariah's pretty much looking like a fool, like she don't got the air punched out of her by what Natalie had just let come out her mouth that she's taking her man, which is really Mariah sees him as her man, away for a business trip, but they'll be back. And, Kevin's like, he got a rock head. You know what I'm saying? And Michael done told him, you got to choose between them two women. Stop playing between the two. But anyway, he's getting his rocks off right now, and he throwing caution to the wind. So he tells Mariah, her room is set up. He ain't changed nothing. Everything is still how she left it when they were both cohabitating together. Enjoy her time. He'll see her when he get back home. Whatever. Okay. We go from that situation, we go to Chelsea. She done made it to the hospital. She gonna get her some answers out of Victor, okay? She going to look into some of the portable hospital stand where you have all these little dressings and tapes and blades and stuff in case you need to cut the tape or the yarn, or not yarn, but what do you call it, wraps that you need to wrap somebody up. They have a wound that needs to be changed, this, that, and the other. She goes and finds a blade, child. And I'm like, Lord, what Chelsea doing with that blade? What is she gonna do with it, Lord? You already got one family member tied up in jail. You gonna go now for assaulting somebody with a blade, Chelsea? Really? So anyway, she's just frantic. She don't know what to do. She's drawing at straws. She's at her last wit's end. She did not want to see her husband go to jail. So she calls herself getting out a blade. She's going to see Victor. She runs into Nikki, and Nikki be like, "Oh, what the hell are you finna do?" And so she has to know she has to digress her emotions and her attitude real quick, or Nikki's gonna, like Nikki had initially said she couldn't go see Victor because with her frame of mind and how she's acting, she don't need her upsetting her man, which is Victor. But Chelsea's smooths everything over. She just saying she just needs to get some comfort from Victor, because that's his son, and she just needs to be with somebody that she can talk to her what she's going over. And she makes a good. If she wouldn't have fooled me, because I would have escorted her in there and just see what she was going to try to do. But it's storyland. The writers are writing how they want the actors to play it out. And she's done a good job of convincing Nikki that she's not a threat. She just needs to go in and have some one-on-one time with Victor for a short period of time. She's not going to exhaust him and this, that, but she just needs to get some things off her mind. And she's going to, be respectful and leave, as soon as she gets, whatever she has to tell him off her chest. So Nikki like, okay, do what you got to do, boo. Clueless. Nikki is so clueless. But anyway, go to commercial, we come back. Mariah goes over to get keys from Kevin, and at Crimson Lights, like I said, we already went over that situation. We have Dylan goes home. Well, he pretty much bumps into Mariah as he's leaving Kevin, because they're leaving on their little trip to go find more information to free Adam. And he runs into Mariah, and he asks Mariah, "Why are you at, Crimson Light? Is something wrong with Sharon, the baby seller, or whatever?" She said, "No." He said, "Well, okay, I'll see you, when you get home or when I get home." She said, "No, you won't. I'm moving out." So of course he's taken back, like, what the hell? What's going on? So he can sense something's going on with Sharon and Mariah, because Mariah just wouldn't up and jump and want to leave. So he knows there's a story back there. He's puzzled. So he really goes home and try to figure out what's going on. So Dylan goes home. He talked to Sharon about what happened between her and Mariah, because why is she moving out? We were all just fine when I left to go to court. When I come home, everything done changed. We're minus one family member, okay? So pretty much, Sharon does her line again, deflecting, saying, it was time for her to go. She needed to be back with people of her own. It was her decision, not, mine. I even tried to talk her out of it and this, that, and that. So, Dylan, he has that little investigator mind. He gonna let it go for now. But he's saying it seems like Mariah was upset. So Sharon says she's gonna call and check on her later on. But it is what it is. Her and Chelsea get into that room with Victor. We're in the last and final scene of today's episode. She get in that room with Victor, and Lord Hammer, she pulled that knife out. He looking all scared and shit. Like, what are you finna do with that? Have you lost your mind? First, now it's you. It was Chloe before. I ain't gonna catch a break. I ain't gonna be able to make it back to prison before somebody knock me off. I'm thinking about getting knocked off in prison, and hell, half my family members coming at me sideways trying to knock me out. So that was very funny. And when somebody have tears in their eyes and they at their last straw, she's saying, you're gonna give me some information. You're gonna tell me where them papers at, honey. And this and another, because my husband's not gonna be spending no time away from his family nor me. So you need to get it together. You either wanna, be assaulted right now, or you can just go on and tell me where the papers at. I'll go get them myself, and we're gonna free Adam. This is called Free Adam Day. But that was a trip, y'all. But that's all I had for The Young and the Restless. Like I said, that aired on Monday, July 18, 2016 at 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I plan to do a review again on today's episode, but you'll probably get it around this late time again because I do have to work. But hopefully I can get back home, get a little rest in, and then come to you before 10 or 11 at night, or tonight, rather. So, y'all be blessed. Enjoy my commentary on today's episode, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.